Hey guys, it was good. JJJBoxing. So it's the day after Canelo Charlo, and time to unpack what we've seen, the aftermath of it. Is Canelo? That's the number one question people are asking: is Canelo back where he was? Because a lot of people are titling their videos "Canelo's back," to his original self, and I guess you could say he is because, I mean, I don't think he could have done any better than he did against Charlo. Like, that was the best Canelo I think we could possibly get against Charlo. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he didn't get the knockout, but like it wasn't an intriguing fight, to be honest. It was a kind of like, it's not a fight you're going to be talking about for years, but it doesn't take away the fact that Canelo, he still performed the way he usually does when he wins. He did good. He didn't get the knockout because Charlo's just got good legs and he knows how to move around the ring and he knows how to survive when he wants to, and that's why he didn't get knocked out. If he started throwing more and trading more, or just put together more offense, he might have gotten knocked out. Who knows? Maybe he would have won some more rounds against Canelo. We'll never know, but you can't expect more from Canelo. I mean, he won at least 9 rounds minimum, I would say. You could maybe give him more, but I think I had Charlo like maybe three rounds at most. So yeah, I think Canelo is back to the Canelo that faced like Caleb Plant and like Kovalev. I really do believe it looks like the same guy there. I mean, is this enough though to beat Bivol? No, and I think a lot of people will agree. This Canelo won't beat Bivol, and obviously the rematch is always going to be there. It's because Canelo controls the shots. It's up to him if he wants to pursue that. I hear he has to face David Benavidez next. I'm hearing, but who knows, right? Who knows if that will happen? That is a mega fight in the sense that it was just Mexican versus Mexican. That will sell like crazy. And I'd like to know what the odds would be on that fight. Obviously, Canelo would still be favored, I think, considering Benavidez couldn't get Plant out of there, and Canelo did. So the odds might factor that in. But if that fight does happen and Canelo's the favorite, I wouldn't mind putting money on Benavidez just because he has a very good chance of winning. And if he does fight Bivol next, or within the next 2 fights, and they won't make Bivol the underdog again, let's be honest though. If they do, I'm putting the house on Bivol. He's not beating Bivol, guys. Even though he looked good tonight, he's not Bivol. He's not number one pound for pound Canelo anymore. Though I never had him number one pound for pound anyway, because he lost to Triple G like twice. So I don't know how you can put a guy number one when you clearly lost twice to the other guy. But Canelo he's back. The fact that, like I said, he moved up so many weight classes, so a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on that, why they rank him really highly. But the man's thick. Like, look at his body. He's a beast. He's a tank. I mean, he's built like a tank, and Charlo couldn't deal with that strength. But yeah, like Terrence Crawford's still number one pound for pound. I put many other guys above Canelo too, like an Usyk. You could even put Lomachenko there. I thought he beat Haney. You could put him over Canelo. Now a lot of you guys are probably going to be all pissed now that I said that, but he beat Haney. And Lomachenko started off pretty light, and Haney's pretty big, so that was a great win. Who else? Bivol I put above Canelo. See, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, like, but Bivol's been in the same weight class. How can it be pound for pound better than Canelo?" But I guess pound for pound is kind of like different interpretations of it, because like it means that at any weight they would be better, right? So people who move up, we tend to favor them more for the pound for pound because they are moving up and they're still beating the guys, so they have more of an argument. So I can understand why I guess you wouldn't consider like a Tyson Fury or a Bivol pound, like you're not putting them above some guys just because they've been in the same weight class, but still the skills are there, and I think if you shrunk down Bivol to like, if he started at a lower weight, which I think he could, he's not that big of a light heavyweight. It's just they choose to fight at a comfortable weight. That's all it is. But yeah, so Canelo is back to I think his original self. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to take away from this, considering the fight didn't really illuminate a lot for us because he wasn't really competing to win. It seemed a lot of time he was landing good counters at times, hard left hook counters, but it's just you could tell he was more in a defensive, moving around the ring. He was afraid to get hit. So we don't know where Canelo would do against someone who's going to actually put their own offense together on Canelo and make Canelo think about, oh, I don't want to throw now. Which, that's hard to do as it is with Canelo. He's still going to throw even if he is getting hit with clean shots, like we've seen with Triple G and Bivol. But Charlo wasn't doing any of that, so Canelo didn't have to worry about anything. So it's hard to take away how much Canelo, like, I don't know how a Bivol rematch would go. Like, is he going to do worse? Is he going to do the same or a bit better? I would say this fight didn't really tell us anything, right? And then with the David Benavidez, we still don't really know, because David Benavidez is definitely not just going to sit back and do what Charlo did. He's gonna go in and try to beat Canelo up. So, but it would be interesting to see how David Benavidez reacts when he gets hit by Canelo. That would be the determining factor, right? But I just feel like Benavidez will try to land his own shots and take one. As for Charlo, I mean, he called out Terence Crawford. That's a big fight. I've said in the other video that I think that Terence Crawford should fight Jermell Charlo first, actually, and then if he beats Charlo better than than Canelo did, Terence Crawford, there is no more excuses left. I don't want to hear it that Terence Crawford's too small. Oh, why do we want to see a guy move up this far? It's going to be a mismatch. Canelo's too good. If it's okay for Canelo to fight Jermell Charlo, why is it not okay for Terence Crawford to fight Jermell Charlo? And if he beats him worse, why wouldn't he deserve to fight Canelo? That would make no sense. You would have to give Canelo the opportunity. You would have to give Terence Crawford that opportunity. And I don't want to hear that he can't compete with Canelo. If he beats Charlo worse than Canelo, why doesn't he deserve that fight? You know what I mean? That's my opinion on that. But some good fights to be made for Canelo. Like I said, Benavidez, it's been mandated by the WBC for Canelo to fight Benavidez next. And then he has the Bivol rematch there. Obviously, Bivol has a fight probably coming up at the end of the year. Hasn't been announced who will be yet. And then you have Beterbiev waiting for Bivol as well. So there's a lot of options that can go around for each of these fighters. Jermell Charlo, go back down to 154, like you said, and fight Terence Crawford. Or get a tune-up maybe and then fight Terence. I don't know, but Terence is 37. He just had his birthday, so he needs to make these fights happen within the next year or two. All of these fights. I mean, Charlo and Canelo. He needs those two fights if he really wants to end his legacy in a special way. I guess he could face Boots and Keith Thurman as well. Those won't really do anything for his legacy. I think Keith Thurman would, but I don't think Boots is just too green at this point. He won't get that much credit if he beat Boots. But still, it's a good fight. See how I think Ennis needs to fight someone a bit lower level before jumping in Terrence Crawford, because I don't know. I just want to see, like, I'm not saying he can't compete with Terrence Crawford, but it's like there's a possibility he's not ready, and then I don't know. Like then we'll just it's not a win-win for Crawford at all fighting Ennis. The money's he's not going to get paid as much probably, and if he beats Boots, people just say, oh, well, who did Boots really beat? He was still kind of young, right? But yeah, obviously that's a good fight. But I think my option for Terrence is the Jermell Charlo, Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios is in the picture now, so that's kind of good. And then Canelo. I would say Canelo and Jermell Charlo. Jermell are the two options I would want. Terrence. For Bivol, I want Beterbiev. And for Canelo, I'd want David Benavidez. So, yeah, those are my fights I would want to see. But like I said, Canelo, is he back? We didn't really. There's not much to really go by here. But I think he looked as good as he could have. You can't really criticize the guy. He had a good performance. He didn't get the knockout just because that's Charlo's doing. He's a good mover, guys. He's got strong legs, and he showed a decent chin too. He got hit with hard shots, but like I said, he was kind of in survival mode. He wasn't throwing enough to get caught, which if he wasn't as good as he was, he probably would have got knocked out because he wouldn't know how to avoid a lot of those. So, but I feel like you can't fault Canelo for a guy not engaging that much, right? He still dropped him and hurt him a couple times. So I think he's back, but like I said, is he gonna, like, let's not go over the top here and say he's gonna beat Bivol, because if he beats Bivol, he's one of the best. He's one of the best fighters of all time. I said that before going into the first fight. I'll say it now. But yeah, I think he has a good chance of beating David Benavidez though. But that fight could go either way. That's why we want to see that. Two Mexican guys going at it. That's a huge fight. Hopefully that gets made next, and then Bivol fights whoever, and then the winner of David Benavidez and Canelo fight Bivol, and then if Crawford can beat Jermell Charlo, maybe he'll fight Canelo, right? So there's tons of options here, guys. But Canelo, good performance. Charlo, move back down to 154. And see what happened. Go from there. Yeah, so, yeah, guys. Was a kind of boring fight because Charlo wasn't... he wasn't fighting as much as we would want him to, like throwing punches. So it made it for a kind of a lackluster fight. We're not going to be talking about this fight for years, right? We'll forget about it within the next couple weeks. But that's not Canelo's fault, though, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, this is Triple J Boxing, and thanks for watching.